So so a lot of us may be going through judgment, but not how we intended it to be. What we thought would be detrimental to our lives, kind of like a tower moment where we expected complete chaos. Really isn't chaos at all. This is a time for healing. And a lot of us may be experiencing some moments where we're in the present, but we get like a blast from the past. And what I mean by that is that you might see something that reminds you of the past. And as you begin to walk around and take a closer look, really what you've seen or thought was something from the past really isn't it at all, but it was a reminder. It was a reminder, and it reminded you of something in the past. So in a way, it's like you're living in two separate realities combined into one reality. You follow me? So you might see something. For example, I saw Auntie Annie's. But it wasn't Auntie Annie's at all. It was Cinnabon. And it reminded me of the field trip I went on. It was like a summer camp type thing. And I went on this field trip and to the mall. And really I was supposed to go to this gym, be with the kids my age and things like that. But there was a time that I thought I was growner than I was. I wanted to hang out with the older kids. So I went to the mall and everyone went to Auntie Annie's because that was just the thing. Now, in 2025, I hardly see any Auntie Annie's. Right now, cinnamon rolls are the thing. So as I was walking, it's like my vision was blurred. I was looking and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some Auntie Annie's because that's what I remembered. But when I walked up to the sign, it was the same color, it was the same kind of design. What really I saw was it was Cinnabon. And I didn't want no Cinnabon. But it was kind of a, I don't know. It was kind of like a divine spiritual path that I was walking, It was like when I was walking towards it, all I could see was Auntie Annie's. And as I got closer and I actually read what it said Cinnabon. So that may be happening to a couple of you where you think that you see something that feels like a little taste of home. When really, it's a new timeline. It's like we're walking, trying to heal and patch those wounds from the past in the present. Now, something else I have for you is to first, when you step outside, learn to ask permission and pray about it. And now this isn't from my own saying, but this is something I'm learning because you never know when you'll and if you'll see tomorrow. So if you step outside and when you step outside, ask to be returned home safely, ask for permission to go out because the day is never promised. You never know with stepping out, right? You never know when stepping out. Maybe you weren't meant to be out that day. Maybe you were meant to do some things around the house. Maybe you were meant to rest. Maybe you were meant to do something else, work on something else. You just never know. So now, in this timeline, what I'm learning is that everything does come in seasons. Now this is the season for working. Yes. Grinding. Yes. But not in that sense. It's also the season of resting. Continuing to sow your seeds, but something is telling me that we won't have to work as hard as we used to work, right? We've already put in a lot of work. Yes, continue working. Yes, continue working hard, but with less movement. Calculate your steps. And your movements, right? Because at this point, for a lot of you I know, you could do the same task that you've been doing at a much more significant rate with less of your energy. And by, what I mean by that, right, is preserving your energy. So think of it like this. You don't have to lay in bed to rest. Resting could also be resting your mind, your soul, your spirit, physically. You know, we no longer have to carry those elephants on our shoulder anymore. We don't have to do that. The work has already been done. We've put in a lot of work. Some of us for years. If you're just getting started, for days, months, however long, decades. We've already been doing that. Now it's time to be strategic. So just think about that. Take some time to yourself. Ask for permission and guidance when you step out. And everything doesn't have to be so calculated. Yes, plan. But if everything doesn't go how you expected it to be, that's okay. Maybe it wasn't meant to be that way for that day and that moment. But whatever you're praying for, whatever you're wishing for, will come eventually. But I feel that, and I feel this from the inside, I really do, that God is preparing us through different situations, right? So what we used to do in the past, He's showing us how we can improve upon ourselves, how we can preserve more energy, indulge less, or indulge in moderation. So, you know, for me, I've tried to do some things cold turkey. And I fell on my face a lot. I've cried a lot. Because when you want something so bad, when you really want it bad, when you want to change so bad, that's what happens. And then you'll just continue the same cycle over and over and over and over again. But the best thing you can do is get back up and try again. So, also, I've learned it's very important to watch what you eat, because some of these things will try to harvest your energy too. You know, watch what you eat, watch what you smoke, watch what you drink, and just try this, test this out, see how you feel about it. You know, because some of these things will try to harvest your energy too. So, that's all I have for you. Thank you.